Good morning, I'm Sheila Maria and I am a psychic medium, and it is really wonderful to be with you. I have had quite a few people come to me and ask me the question, how do I know that what I'm hearing is positive? And especially I've had several people talk to me about the fact that they felt energies around them which don't feel human, and they're not sure whether they're, safe to be in connection with. And another question which I've had is it safe for me to be in contact with these beings if they're aliens? So this is something I wanted to talk about. So first of all, it depends on your energy and your interests and your interactions. So I have a very galactic energy. Other light workers are much more angelic, and other light workers are much more earthly. If you have got no personal interest in star beings or aliens or galactic energies, they will usually have no interest in you. Okay? So usually if you're picking up energies that don't feel as though they're human, and you know that you've got absolutely no interest in anything that has never been on earth, perhaps your thing is mediumship or healing, then it may well be what we call an astral being. And an astral being is simply a human soul that for whatever reason has not crossed over. And they can be bothersome, but they can't really hurt you. So let's say that you know that you do have an energy, however you wish to describe it, that is not particularly earthly. Okay, perhaps you know that you're very different from your other light worker friends. Perhaps you're very different to all the members of your family, and perhaps you've always known that you are what we call a starseed. And all a starseed really means is that you've incarnated in many places. Earth is but a speck of dust. Most of you have had literally hundreds and thousands of lives. And I don't know why you would come to nowhere but Earth. I just don't know why you would. But there we go. So if you have felt some questionable beings around you, perhaps you've heard voices, or you have felt voices, or you have had astral experiences with what clearly are not human to you, and they may even not look humanoid. Okay, I've had experience with like huge space spiders. I want to talk to you about why this happens, what you can do about it, and how you can tell whether or not they're the good guys or the bad guys. Okay, so let's start with that. If you are not uncomfortable, then they're not going to hurt you. They can't hurt you anyway, right? They really can't. They can be bothersome, but they can't hurt you, not physically. So if you're not scared of them, they're not harmful. And if they're not harmful, I wouldn't class them as bad. Now, if they are bothersome and you're hearing or feeling or sensing interference, the first thing to do is to make a clear decision whether you want that interference or not. And it needs to be a clear decision. If you are getting bothered by any beings that you are really not comfortable with, it's usually because your aura or your energy bodies at some level are allowing them access. Now that can be because your aura is weak, you've got holes or tears or rips. It can be because you've got soul contracts with these beings. And sometimes the soul contracts that you've got with these beings have not been made consciously. They've either come from other lives, they've come from groups that you are participating in or have participated in, or through whatever it is you do when you're out of your body at night. And obviously you don't have conscious control of that, most of you. So the first thing to do if you are bothered by any type of being is make a clear decision that you don't want to be bothered. Perhaps you do want to have connections with your guides, but you don't want to feel watched. Perhaps you do want to develop and you want to connect with the angelic frequencies, but you don't want human souls, whatever it is for you. So at this stage, my advice would be literally state out loud that you are not allowing anything not of the highest light within your energy. And you literally say that. I am not allowing anything of the highest light within my energy. Okay? No. From that place, you can then explore how these beings found you. So very often, the way that these dark beings find you can be because of something you've been involved with within your waking day on earth. If you smoke a lot of weed, and this isn't a judgment, if you do a lot of what we would call like a Ouija boards, if you are indiscriminately working with energies that you think you understand, but perhaps you don't, and maybe you're not quite ready, all of these can be ways that you flag up to beings that are not comfortable for you. And I don't want to make the distinction about what is good and what is bad, because we have got a very limited human perspective. What I will say to you is, if these beings are causing you to feel uncomfortable, if they are sarcastic, if they are judgmental, if they are bothering you when you are asleep, if they are making you feel that you're not good enough, then they're not positive for you. Okay? One of the other reasons that beings such as this can find you is that your light is getting brighter, and a lot of you that watch my work have woken up in the last 2 years. And so you're all of a sudden on the radar and they couldn't see you before. And all that means is you're a great food source for them. It's like bottom feeders. You're a great food source. So whether they are astral or what we call alien, it's up to you to make sure that your aura doesn't allow what can affect you negatively in. And that's all to do with protection, sovereignty, ownership, accountability and responsibility. And this is where you need to make sure, whatever stage that you are at, that you know what you're doing. Okay? And I see a lot of people that are encouraged to do things that they are not ready for, or that put them at risk. So please, if you feel wobbly, if you feel like something's going too fast, if you feel like you've lost control, find somebody to help you. Even if it's only just to get you back on an even keel so that you can develop in your natural time. So the other reason that these beings can find you and take an interest in you is that they've known you for a long time. And sometimes it's because you have had many, many lives, either as part of their species or as part of a species that was oppositional to them, or you come from a soul group that is particularly powerful, and it's in their interest to shut you down. It's in their interest to screw you up. It's in their interest to stop your growth. And there are various fractions. There are the Luciferians, the Dark Brotherhood, there are the Draconians, there are some of the Greys, but there are beings outside of this as well. And another reason that they can find you, they want to mess with you, is because you're not yet fully stepping into who you came here to be. And this is going to be the same for a lot of you that have woken up in the last 2 years. And this is where I want to say, please take your time. I see people doing things they shouldn't be doing as quickly as they are. I have personally been developing for over 17 years now, and I have still got 2 mentors that I am working with. If you are working with galactic energies just because somebody says you should, and you're following their protocol, but you're hearing things and sensing things that are making you feel less than as a person or as a healer, please question why you're being rushed. Is it because of that? So what can you do about it? Admit when you're out of your depth. I will tell you that there was a situation I had where I heard a growl in the middle of the air and phones were flinging themselves around, and I had to get somebody to clear that for me. This was only a year ago, and I only work with light frequencies. It's okay to admit that you need help. It doesn't stop your development. It just means you need to go at a level that is right for you, and you need to make sure that you work with the energies that are right for you. Galactic energies are powerful. Earth energies are powerful. All energy is powerful. You would not put your finger on a gas ring. You wouldn't, I hope, put your finger in a plug socket. So you want to make sure that what you're plugging into through your crown is an energy that aligns with you. A lot of you are going to be naturally drawn to the galactics because part of you has been part of them. Even so, you need to remember that you're much more predisposed to interference if you haven't got the skills to deal with it now on Earth. Technology and the defense systems that you would have had in those other bodies is different to what you've got here. So please look after yourselves. The other thing we're going to say is there's a difference between aliens and star beings. Star beings are lovely. They're benevolent, even if they're not particularly loving, but they are very, very intellectual, logical. You know, I would still class them as a star being. They've got something to offer you or something to offer through you. An alien just wants to mess with you. And you will find yourself going round in circles if you're not equipped to deal with it. So several things to look out for are, if you start feeling as though you can't trust the people you normally trust, whether that is your partner, your friends, your mentor, and there is no good reason for it. If you start having very, very dark dreams, especially if you have dreams where you're being messed with or interfered with, if you wake up screaming, if you feel as though you're becoming more detached from physical life than normal and you're not feeling your emotions as much, or if every time you try to do something it doesn't work. And the last one really is if you're hearing voices or buzzing and it doesn't feel comfortable. Listen to all of that. And if anybody tries to get you moving faster than you're comfortable with, that will not strengthen your gifts. It will have the opposite effect. It will shut your gifts down. Only go at the pace that's right for you. Listen to yourself and you will be absolutely fine. If you need any help with this, I do galactic activation healing, which is where we focus exclusively on your mission, your origins, clearing the vows and the oaths and the implants and the experiences from all of those hundreds and thousands of lives that are causing you to not fully embrace who you came to Earth to be. You can find that over at my website at SheilaMaria.com. Lots of love and goodbye for now.